Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sonic Adventure commentary. It's been a long while, but you might be wondering, why did we take so long? Schedules. Everybody has their own lives, so yeah. I'm joined once again with my special guests, Spring and Klaus.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And one of the things I really liked is how great the reception was for the last commentary. It's not my most viewed video, but but I really enjoyed the feedback and especially like you guys' responses to the video afterwards. And that was nice. That was awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was like me doing my own brain sketch commentaries, being part of this, so it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, sprinkling a couple things in once in a blue moon.
But now we're starting with Knuckles' journey, and we went a little bit into this in the last commentary because we talked about a lot of fucking things. But what are you guys' thoughts? Oh no! What are you guys' thoughts on Knuckles, the echidna, the nipples, the enchilada, the one and him?
My thoughts on Punhos o Echidna is actually one of my favorite characters. Like, ever since I was a kid, I think I first saw him like on Sonic 3 and Sonic Advance. I always thought he looked cool because he was red. I thought he was a dog at first because of his snout. This is before I learned what echidnas were.
Never forget the four-headed penis.
Yes, very important.
Yeah, that's very important to the lore. But yeah, I always like Knuckles. I think he's fun. I like his whole backstory that we're gonna see in this playthrough. I think it's both a combination of how, yeah, he can be a bit dim-witted or a bit naive, but he's also very badass. He's strong, powerful, just cool. I like Knuckles.
Yeah, I like Red Sonic. But yeah, I first saw him in the Sonic Mega Collection, and like in the extras mode where you can look at all the comics. That's where I saw all the Knuckles comics, and I was like, oh my god, who are all these other echidnas that look just like Knuckles? And then I went on and I read all the Knuckles comics, and I found out all about the Knuckles family tree. Courtesy of Ken Penders, and it's more insane than anybody can possibly imagine.
Green Knuckles.
Yeah,
yes,
Knuckles turned green for some reason.
Yeah, and then Knuckles' father stuck Knuckles' egg in like a microwave and irradiated it, and that's how Knuckles was able to turn green later. And also, like Knuckles, he can walk on water, and he can walk on water. He can fly. You know.
He's Jesus.
Knuckles can walk
exactly.
on water?
But yeah, I always like Knuckles, and I like that his stages are a little bit like slower in pace compared to Sonic, so nice little variety there, and I like that his stages are also a little bit more melee focused as well. And yeah, Knuckles is naive, a little bit naive, and he can come across as dumb, but it's just because he's uneducated. And he spends all his time on an island alone. It's like, how is he supposed to know how the world works?
Yeah, Knuckles is an interesting character for me because I think I said this in my last episode. He is one of my favorites, if not my favorite Sonic character. Because as a kid, I could relate a lot with him, both being kind of loners as kids. But what ended up kind of happening is that over the years, even though Knuckles was my favorite, Sonic was like the character I aspired most to be. And now as an adult, I feel like I'm more similar to Sonic than I am with Knuckles, but I still really, really like Knuckles because Knuckles, unlike Sonic, does not chuckle, and it's awesome.
Oh, damn, that was quick.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say. You said, "Oh, these stages are more slower paced," and I beat it in like a minute.
I mean, it's the first level, so.
He has 5 levels in total in this campaign, and you're gonna see that they're gonna be beaten in relatively decent times, not to brag.
You're saying like, yeah, you're definitely Sonic. Klaus is definitely Shadow. I don't know.
You're Vector.
Oh, Vector, okay. That's gonna be cool.
I mean, you're basically a giant fanboy over fucking Vector. You're like the biggest Team Chaotix fanboy I know.
We are a very rare species, you might say. It's very chaotic. I love the chaotics, but they're not in this game. In fact, I don't think anyone knows who they are, because when this game was revealed, the chaotics were a very footnote in Sonic's history. It was until Heroes they were brought into the spotlight. And basically, were given completely different personalities. As you can see, Rhino, in that very moment, he changed the camera. You want to explain why that is?
Oh.
I think I do that sometimes in Knuckles campaign just to get a better view of the world. That's probably gonna happen a couple of times, not much.
So you just destroyed the statue of Sonic.
I had to. The emerald piece was inside it.
I actually didn't know that statue could break.
Here's a fun fact about that statue. Sonic in his when Sonic goes through Casinopolis, if he gathers like a shit ton of rings, like what 10,000, he's able to build that statue, and only for Knuckles to break it in his story.
So that implies that the canon route is that Sonic actually spent that time in Casinopolis.
Yeah, Casinopolis first, and then alongside Tails, where we didn't comment on this on the last episode, but like Tails is only in the sewers, and I like to think that's because he's a kid, so he's just he can't gamble.
He cannot go inside. Speaking of that, there's an NPC that I discovered this with my girlfriend when she was playing this game. Like, there's an NPC that's like a little kid saying, "Oh, my mom went inside and hasn't come back."
I tried to find that NPC in this campaign, in this story, but I was not able to.
I forgot which campaign it was, but yeah. Like, you said this last time, yeah, the NPCs are very inconsequential, but there's some really good lines. There's, for example, the one that Johnny brings up in his review of the girl who's bringing up the courage to confess her love to the guy that's working on the hamburger fast food joint. There's the know-it-all kid with glasses that says, "Oh, you can ask me anything about the game." There's this
Sonic, do you know how to be you?
So, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Also, complete contrast with Sonic, we immediately get a flashback with the call, while Sonic is like, it took until Lost World to see the level Lost World. The level Lost World, not to be confused with the game Lost World.
Sonic Lost World. That's definitely a game. You know what we should do? We should do like a rapid fire of like our opinions on like the mainline Sonic games, or the Sonic games we just like.
Okay.
Like so. All right. Who goes first? I'll save myself to the last.
Yeah, you can go first, Spring.
Okay. Sonic-kun? Sonic-kun?
Oh no.
Sonic 1, it's good. Sonic 2, it's really good. Sonic CD. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, really good game. Sonic 3D Blast, aka Sonic Flicky Island, or whatever the heck the game is called in Europe.
Yep. In Japan.
In Japan. Nah. Sonic Adventure, like I said, a bit glitchy, but a lot of passion, and just fun to play. Sonic Adventure 2, it's weird, because it's a mix of, it's an improvement in some areas, but a downgrade in others. So I really cannot pick one or the other as like a favorite. Like, it cuts some of the fat, quote-unquote, of this game, but I think it loses a bit in some areas. Like, for example, in the Knuckles stages, I think were much better in this game than in Sonic Adventure 2. Like, they were more gimmicky, more interesting design-wise, but that freaking radar. That stupid radar from Sonic Adventure 2. I hate it. So, I think I put both of them in, like, very good. Adventure 1 and 2. Heroes, biased, but I love that game. It's my favorite Sonic game. It has its faults. I'm the first one to point them out. The speed controls are not the best. There's knockback. Playing the game 4 times can get a bit annoying. But there's such charm. Like, the characters are oozing with personality. Sonic and Tails are just resting there too.
Yeah. they're just like twitching, yeah.
Whoa! The camera was glitching for some reason.
Why did you punch her, dude?
I was trying to talk to her. I'm sorry.
You think?
Yeah, accidentally gave her a knuckle sandwich.
Also, I think that kid that was there is the one that supposedly says that line. So yeah, you skip past him.
Ah shit.
And but yeah, Sonic Heroes I like. Shadow the Hedgehog I kind of said briefly last time. I have mixed feelings about that game. Like, there's things I like, there's things I don't like. I don't think I would consider it a bad game, but thankfully the flaws definitely bring it down. 06 never played, Secret Rings never played, Unleashed only played the PS2 version. I think it's good. Colors, I think it's good, but definitely shows the signs of things to come. Generations is a really good game. Lost Worlds is a game that exists. Sonic Boom never played besides demos. Forces me to be disappointed. Mania is really good. Frontiers is a very good first step into something new, but it's still lagging behind in some areas. Advanced games, I played them when I was younger, don't remember much, but I remember really liking them. Never played Rush. Some of the Game Gear games are hit or miss. Triple Toe was really good. Spinball is Spinball. And I like the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. And that's it.
Which one?
I like the DS version of the first two games, and I like the 2012 London Olympic Games. That one I think is the best one.
Olympic Winter Games. That's my favorite.
That one I played the DS version, but I heard the Wii version is really good. The
Jeez, the Wii balance board.
The real one is good because of the soundtrack, because I love that soundtrack in that game. The real
It's really good.
Like, from what to quote Did You Know Gaming, they actually they did the soundtrack for the game. They actually got some Brazilian people to react to it, and they said this doesn't feel authentic. So what they did, they went to Carnival, like in February, right where they were doing the celebrations in Rio de Janeiro, to record actually real life like samba and percussion, forró, like types of instruments, to make the soundtrack as authentic as possible. And you can tell.
Awesome.
Yeah, like they had to rush against the clock because again they were in the carnival, so it was not that easy to do. But the results speak for themselves. Like, it's a great soundtrack.
Yeah, for a game that's like was definitely a rival, basically.
Yeah, like it's a game that was definitely a rival. But I appreciate the soundtrack, and it's funny because the game looks great. I think it's probably the best looking out of the, even more so than the Olympic Games in Japan, 2020 Olympic Games. I think the real looks better, and the soundtrack is amazing. They tried to do some interesting things with the hub world, like being in Copacabana, but then the mini games were so basic, and they did such a stupid thing where like they showed new characters in the trailers, and I'm like, wow, we're finally getting new characters. There's Rosalina, there's the Zeddy. I don't care about the Zeddy, but still nice. You know what they did? Those characters are only available in one event. So you can only play Rosalina in one event. You can only play as Zaz in one event. You can only play as Styx the Badger from Sonic Boom in one event. What were they thinking?
Oh, that's just lame.
Yep.
Yeah. Was it like lack of time or something?
I don't know what was going on. I assume maybe, again, if we take the story about the music as face value, because again, it was from Digital Gaming, I don't remember if they cite that source. If we take that at face value, it definitely seems they were rushing some things in that game.
I mean, with the Olympic Games, they naturally have a deadline to meet.
Yeah. Also, I like how in this rapid fire of Sonic opinions, the one I talk most is Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games.
This man has his priorities.
But yeah, those are my thoughts on Sonic. I mean, there's definitely other games I probably skipped. I don't. Oh, Sonic Rivals. Like Sonic Rivals 2.
There you go.
Rivals 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Ooh.
But if I had to say, okay, favorite Sonic games. Sonic Heroes, like I said, my favorites. I really like Sonic Generations. I really like Sonic 2. I really like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I really like Sonic Rivals 2. I really like Sonic Colors DS. I like Sonic Colors on the Wii just fine. And Frontiers. I'll say also Frontiers. I think, like I say, it's a very good first step. There's a lot of things it does well, so...
You haven't finished the game yet, though.
Yeah, but I don't know why the game just not grabbing me enough. That's why I'm not trying to be too harsh on the game, because I know the game's doing things very well. It's just, I don't think it's grabbing me enough. But I still think it's a really good game. Like, a good first step. I think that's the thing with Frontiers. It's a first step. We're not there yet, but we are getting to somewhere that I really hope means well for this franchise.
I'll get to my thoughts on Frontiers later, but I'll just say that the reason why I liked Frontiers so much is that I had a lot of fun with it, and that was just something that forces. I never thought we would get to a point where a Sonic game just is not fun. Klaus, what about you?
Alright, I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog, first one, good game, but I prefer Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 over it. Sonic 3 is my favorite classic game, and then my other favorite classic game is Sonic Triple Trouble. Let's see, I do not care for Sonic CD, I never beat it. and I don't really have
my
any
friend.
desire to beat it.
Klaus, my friend, high five.
Let's see. My favorite multiplayer Sonic game is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. I've probably played hundreds of hours of it with my brother.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
All right. Yeah. I like Sonic R, even if it's clunky and slippery and weird. But of course, I love it because the Tails doll is there. My cute little boy.
Can you feel the sunshine? Is it
bright enough your day?
The menu music of that game is underrated, by the way. I love it.
Living in the city, you have to survive.
Survive.
Living in the
Keep
city.
that dream alive. It's worth everything.
Can't
Nice
you
to
see? I love this stage.
But yeah, okay. So I mean, Sonic Adventure. I mean, of course I love Sonic Adventure. But I prefer Sonic Adventure 2. But I wish maybe Sonic Adventure 2 could have kept some of the hub world aspects from Sonic Adventure 1. Of course, I love Sonic Heroes, but like Spring said earlier, it is repetitive, but still fun, and the level design's fun, and the soundtrack's good, and it's like, and it has Neo Metal Sonic, and it has like Metal Overlord, Metal Madness, like one of the coolest things that's ever come out of Sonic.
I don't care
And
if
if
the
they
destination
ever
takes long. I love it.
if they ever made like a statue or a collectible figurine of like Metal Madness or Metal Overlord, I'd totally get it. Let's see. Shadow the Hedgehog, like I said last time, is my favorite 3D Sonic game. Yeah, it has issues, but I like it just because it's like the whole game is just like adventure Sonic gameplay. It's just a whole game of shadow stages, and I can't complain too much aside from the, kill X amount of enemy missions, and I wish that they put like more enemies, so if you accidentally miss one, you wouldn't have to go back and find it. I like Sonic 06, of course, despite all of its numerous flaws, but I like how ambitious it was and how it actually tried to have Sonic's other friends playable. I miss playing as Sonic's friends.
Sonic Frontiers is a game for you.
Eventually when I get it on sale.
Yeah.
Sonic Rush, I think, great game, but Sonic Rush Adventure, I think, is even better. I liked I like sailing across the ocean, but maybe it's because I love Zelda Wind Waker, so I'm like, oh wow, this is just like Wind Waker, but Sonic. Amazing. Never played the Rivals games. I played Sonic Unleashed. I played the inferior Wii version, and while I did have fun with it, I like the Werehog stages were actually my favorite part of the game.
Interesting.
But it's because I'm not a big fan of the boost gameplay. I think the boost gameplay is the best in Unleashed from what I've played, but I don't like the boost gameplay in general. I'm not really a fan of Sonic Colors. I actually prefer Sonic Forces over Sonic Colors, but I don't love Sonic Forces. I just like Forces because I could just make my stupid little OCs,
Fair, that's
But I hate that Classic Sonic was in Forces, and his sections were my least favorite part of the game.
They force you.
They forced me to play as Classic Sonic. Why is he here?
He was forced to be in the game.
Oh, let's see. What am I missing? I never played Sonic Generations, but I will play the ship version, Shadow X, Sonic X Shadow Generations when that comes out.
Never forget the LGBT tag.
Yeah, Sonato, am I right, fellas? I love Sonic Riders and Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, but I think Riders is better than Zero Gravity. Free Riders doesn't exist.
Unless you use a controller patch that came out recently.
Finally, the game is playable.
Yay!
Yeah, way too many years too late. Let's see. I never played Sonic Boom. I never played Lost World. And like I said, I haven't played Frontiers yet. And I think those are all the main ones.
Mania?
Oh, Mania. I haven't played it, and I don't really have any desire to play it because I'm like, I can just go back and play Sonic Mega Collection,
It is a new game, but I understand why you feel that way with Mania.
Oh, I forgot. The Tails Nightmare 1 and 2 on Newgrounds.
I know which games you're talking about. I know.
That is... I don't know about those games, but...
You wanna know why Klaus is bringing those up?
What?
Tails doll.
of a fucking course. I don't blame you though. I
Yeah.
could bring up Ultimate Flash Sonic, the first Sonic game I've ever played.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I can bring up the puzzle game that was used to advertise Sonic Heroes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't
Oh,
feel
and
it.
one more, last but not least, Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood.
Oh, no.
I actually like that game. Yeah, of course it has tons of problems, and there's lots of things I don't like about it. Like the fact that I was playing in the car once and I got sick and I threw up. But anyway, but yeah, Sonic Chronicles is I like the idea behind it. And I just wish that we could get another Sonic RPG.
Definitely.
Sega, get Atlas to make it, please.
Yes, please.
I
Get
mean,
Atlas
yeah, they
to
own
make
Atlas
it.
now. They should do it.
Yeah, get the Atlas crew or get the guys who did Yakuza 7 or Like a Dragon. Yeah,
Ryuga Gotoku Studio.
yeah, like get one of those groups on board because they would do a really good Sonic RPG, I'd say.
Absolutely.
Or
Also,
in
we're
another-
fighting Chaos 4 again.
Wow.
Wow,
Return-
we are really gonna fight him, aren't we? Yes, we're
Oh,
definitely gonna fight
God.
him for sure.
I wish there was a quick nuke button. I mean, we used it last time, so we can't use it again. But Knuckles is good at punching, right? Punch him, Knuckles. Finally got. I finally got my comeuppance. And that is me laughing.
Our Dragon Ball Portuguese dub. Yes.
Fuck Chaos 4. You could go right in hell. Anyway,
Okay, what were we talking about before that?
you were
Oh.
talking. Well, you guys finished up that Atlas or Ryuga Gotoku Studio should do a Sonic RPG.
Okay,
Oz was wrapping up his Sonic games list,
okay, continue.
and I
Klaus.
guess it's. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, let's see. No, I think that's about it, really.
Just one point to Sonic RPG. In another timeline, maybe Alpha Dream could make one.
Oh, yeah.
It's sad what happened to that studio, but it's also like.
The signs were there.
Yeah, the signs were there with like the Bowser's Inside Story remake was really unnecessary. Like they announced it in like 2017 for early 2019. I'm like, the fuck. And
Why was
they
that on
weren't
Switch?
able to like jump to an HD system with the Switch.
Yeah,
But it seems like the developers have found other homes, so that's nice.
so that's cool. At least.
Yeah.
That's good. Hey,
So,
Rhino,
but I-
the stage is all yours. The stage is all
Yeah,
yours.
okay. So Sonic 1, it's good. Not amazing or anything, but I can have some fun with it. Sonic 2, really good. I have a good amount of fun with it until we get to Metropolis Zone, and then the game just kind of pisses itself. But, you know. Then there's Sonic CD, which I actually like.
Hmm.
Good
I
for
actually
you.
like Sonic CD.
Good for you.
Game. Sonic 3 Knuckles, I really like, but I have a bit of a hard time like playing it from front to back because it's really big.
Yeah, no, it's a really big game. It can get a bit overwhelming.
Yes. So and playing them individually feels a bit disappointing by itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, empty. And those clothes look like piss.
Well,
Like I said, they look like piss. Anyway.
This is Family Guy levels of cutaway bullshit. Good job, Rhino.
Thank you. Like when I was editing this video, I just reminded myself I should do a joke about how they look like piss, and I got reminded of this video called Adventure Number 7. Yes, it is exactly what you think it is. And one of my favorite parts is at the beginning of the video, Cloud is just riding in on his chocobo, and he just comes across Sephiroth pissing on the fucking grass for no reason, because
Because he's evil.
he's evil. Sephiroth. But yeah, no, Sonic 3 Knuckles is a bit overbearing. Sonic 3 Blast, I mean, I haven't finished the game, but it was okay? Question mark?
Soundtrack is good at least.
Yeah, both versions. Both versions soundtrack is really good. I really like Megatrack. The Metroid soundtrack is really catchy, but like the Saturn soundtrack, oh, I love it so much. Then we have Sonic Adventure, which is my baby. I will always honor it. It was the first official Sonic game I've ever played, so I have a lot of fond memories of Sonic Adventure. Even if not everything in the game is great, it's still. Mwah. Then we have Sonic R. Before we go into Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic R is one of those games that it has its issues, but I honestly got had a fun time when I played through the game like a couple of years ago, especially on PC with the extra mods and stuff like that. That just make it the definitive version of the game in terms of graphics and stuff like that, bringing back some of the things in the Saturn version, like lighting and stuff like that. Then we have Sonic Adventure 2, and that's a game that I like, but I don't like nearly as much as Adventure 1 because, like you guys mentioned, the treasure hunting stages, the radars, but even then, even without the radar, like the level design just can't get a really overbearing as you go along. But besides that, I have fun with the speed stages. I have fun with the treasure, with the shooting stages, especially Eggman's. I really like those. You can definitely tell that they were better designed with Eggman because originally Sonic Adventure 2 was only supposed to have Sonic, Knuckles, and Eggman as playable characters. But people complained about there not being a Tails, and then they decided, okay, we'll bring back Tails, but he's gonna be in his mech like Eggman, and then I guess we'll bring Shadow and Rouge as well because why not? But besides, then there's Sonic Heroes, which I've definitely have gotten more respect towards the game over the years, but I think its repetitive elements keep me from really liking the game. I just like it. Then there's Shadow the Hedgehog, which unfortunately, I gave the game a chance. I really did, but unfortunately, if I was not frustrated, I was bored, and I did not like that. By the end, I just wanted the game to end. Sonic 06 is one that, is it a bad game? Yeah, but is it an ambitious game? Yes, and I really respect that. And I honestly can have fun with Sonic 06. If my computer was powerful enough to run the Project 06, the recreation that's been going around, I would definitely play it. But unfortunately, it does not run well enough for it, so can't really play it. But if I ever get a better computer, then I'll definitely play it, or a Steam Deck, because Steam Deck looks interesting. It's just too expensive though. Then there's Sonic Unleashed, which
it's a game that Rhino really hates. It's the worst game of all time.
One day I'll make a commentary on it, and I'll probably bring guests because it's gonna be a big one.
Yeah.
But short to the point, it's one of my favorite video games of all time. And
not just Sonic game, video game of all time.
Video game, not
That's
just
how
Sonic,
big this game is for our host here.
Yes, that game means a fuck ton to me, and it's one of the two Sonic games that has made me cry. So that and Frontiers actually made me tear up.
I so wish the HD version was available on Steam. I would play it. I would find a way to play it because I really want to get the HD version someday.
Yeah, I should mention, unlike these two guys, I have not played the PS2/Wii version. I do want to play the Wii version eventually, but I have played the PS3 version, which is the HD version, and it is the better version. I should
superior version.
Yeah, I should stream it to you guys one day.
Honestly, there's like no competition. I don't think the Wii or the PS2 versions are bad. Honestly, they kind of feel like different games. I mean, in a way.
Yeah. They kind of are. I mean, they were made by the different developers. I mean, Unleashed on the PS2 and Wii was made by Dimps, the guys who made the Advance and Rush series. So, yeah, I wonder what's happening with Dimps right now.
I just now realized, guys, we skipped a very important Sonic game in our retrospective.
Oh, which one?
Which one?
Sonic 4.
Sonic 4. Oh man, how
wait a minute. I'll get. I mean, you guys can go, and I'll continue mine after you guys.
I never played it. I mean, I played demos of it. It's kind of like Sonic Boom. I played demos of it. Talk about a game that the more time passes, the more I really hate, even though I haven't played that game. But that's about it. That's my thoughts on that game. It's honestly, it's funny because it's the first game of the meta era in a way, and I think it's the one that really shows all the problems of the meta era. If I look, personally speaking, but that's about it. That's all I have to say.
Senor Klaus.
Yes, Sonic 4. I remember when I first played it, never. And then, yeah, and then proceeded to forget about it. So, yeah, that's my riveting experience with Sonic 4.
Huh. It's interesting because I have actually played Sonic 4, both episodes, and episode metal as well. But I'll get to it a little bit because there's still a few more games for me to discuss. First of all, Sonic Triple Trouble and Tails Adventure, the only Game Gear Sonic games I've played, and they're good. Well, one is a fine Sonic game, and the other is a nice adventure game, I'd say. Then there's Sonic Advance 1, because yeah, I have actually, like, today, at the time of this recording, I have played Sonic, no, wait, not today, yesterday, recently, there you go, recently, at the time of this recording, I've actually played through Advance 1, and it's fine. It's a fine Sonic 2D platformer. Don't have much to say, but besides that, I don't like the beginner's traps that you see more and more as you go along. And I have replayed Advance 2 recently, and my opinion on the game has soured a little bit because besides its basic level design, you get some bosses that I just really do not like. So I don't have that much fun with Advance 2 later on, but early on it's fine, I'd say. Then I haven't played Advance 3 and I haven't played any of the Rush games. So in terms of handheld games, I'm still kind of lacking. I do want to play Generations 3, yes, eventually. And speaking of generations, let's talk about colors. Sonic Colors on the Wii. I actually do like the game, but there are issues, mainly when it comes to the writing of the game, and its overabundance of 2D segments. But it definitely has a lot of charm, a lot of creativity. I really like the soundtrack, and I can still have fun with Sonic Colors. And then Sonic Generations, which is just a really fucking fun Sonic game. Its story may be lacking, but its gameplay on both sides, modern and classic, is just really fucking fun. And I just really enjoy that game. Sonic Lost World, that's funny because Sonic Lost World is what introduced me to some Call Me Johnny, actually. But I didn't get to play the game until years later, and when I played it, I was like, it's fine, but it has its issues. Mainly the story. I don't like the story of Lost World. Fuck it. Then there's Sonic Forces, which is, honest God, I think it's my most hated Sonic game. Gotta be honest, because no other Sonic game, even though there are Sonic games that, I mean, there's Sonic Forces and then there's Shadow the Hedgehog, and they're kind of like neck and neck for games I don't like. But while Shadow the Hedgehog bored me or frustrated me, Forces really was like, this is not fun at all. I'm not having fun, and this is just lame. We waited years for this. What happened here? Forces basically that, and that's why I'm so happy for Frontiers, because Frontiers, I actually really like Frontiers. And the DLC just added more, I'd say. The DLC got a bit difficult by the end. Thank God for that patch that made so easy mode is actually much easier, especially on that final Coco trial. I still have nightmares about that. But besides that, Secret Rings, that's a game that I'm shocked that I actually like many other people. Like, I actually got to grips with controls. It has a few problems, but honest God, I have fun. I have fun with that game. And Black Knight, really good. A really good game. Level design can be a bit linear, too linear at some points, but Black Knight is just really a really solid game, I'd say. And Sonic 4, since we talked about it, I actually played Sonic 4. Episode 1 and Episode 2. And Episode 1, I actually did play the Wii version as well. And it's okay. It's okay. It exists. Especially in a vacuum. When talking about the game in a vacuum, it's okay. And in Episode 2, it's better. It's decent. But, like, it's called Sonic 4. No.
Like, there's so many better options. Even back then, I always thought Sonic Advance was like the true Sonic 4. Or,
yeah.
Right now we have Sonic Mania, which, yes, it loses some points for originality, but it's the true Sonic 4 for me, in my opinion. Or even Superstars, I think, has at least
Superstars.
Even Superstars has more things going on than 4 did. Like,
I like Superstars, but it has its issues. And Mania, I like it, but it's hard for me to go back to that game because of the levels just being brought back. I don't want to start with Green Hill again, damn it.
Like, it's literally Green Hill chemical plant. Just like Generations.
The generations is chilling never ends, fuckers.
I sense the mess rumble. Here, down on the pool.
Damn, not here.
Also, can I just say it's fun that Eggman has a pool? And like in his evil lair, he has like a little pool that he just chills.
I love how detailed the egg carry is. It's not just a pool. There's a lot of stuff. There's like a little bumper car that he sits on. His bed is all kinds of fun. There's a lot of stuff going on in the egg carrier that a lot of people overlook, and I love the amount of detail there is.
Like, go ahead, Klaus. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I used to like run around the egg carrier just like for fun and just like make up my own little adventures and just go exploring just cause I thought it was cool.
Which character do you play as?
I think I preferred to like run around as Tails, cause well I could get to the top of everything. I mean, you could do that with Knuckles too, but yeah, I just like to chill in the egg carrier with Tails.
So I guess you play Tails Adventure 2?
Yeah, sure did. Now we're still waiting for Tails Sky Patrol 2, am I right?
Oh, I still have yet to play that game. It looks harmless.
I played a little bit on the Gems collection. It seemed harmless, honestly. Not anything that made me go back to it to actually finish it. Just played it a little bit, but it seems charming. What I like is the characters, and what I especially like is so we have the IDW comics, which I praised the hell and back last time. They are doing sometimes some one-shot or small series with the classic characters. Like Sonic and Eggman got one for their anniversary. Tails got one, and they brought back all the characters from Tails Sky Patrol and actually gave them designs and personalities. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Amy got one too. Amy and Metal Sonic. I think Knuckles probably gonna have one soon. Now they recently did one for Fang for Superstars. So I assume maybe we'll have a Knuckles like one shot of classic Knuckles. It would be a great opportunity to bring back the Chaotix, classic Chaotix.
I mean, look at Knuckles. He's already sliding into his next one shot.
He's like sliding to the left. He's gonna slide to the right.
I love that these cutscenes are real.
You know, this is a continuation of our conversation about our thoughts on Sonic. Okay, what are the Sonic games, even old or new, that you guys want to play? For example, for me, it's Black Knight. That's the one game I want to play. Like, I think... Because Black Knight I have an interesting story. So, back in, I want to say 9th grade, we were going to have our spring break. And I was in an IT class, like a computer class.
Yes.
And we were like, what, 4 or 5 students? So the professor was like, you know what, just do whatever the heck you want. I remember, like, I think someone was logging into social media. Fun fact, here in Portugal, the popular social media was i5. It was not Facebook,
oh yeah, I remember
it was i5. I remember, like, one was watching Naruto. Me, I don't know why, but I started watching a playthrough, like a silent playthrough, just a walkthrough of Sonic and the Black Knight. I don't know why. I don't know what compelled me, but I watched it, so I remember getting a good grasp of the story. I was interested by the story. I was seeing all the character interactions, like the different versions of the characters. Then I played the game in a friend's house. The whack of controls killed me. So I got a bit discouraged. But as time went on, I really want to get that game soon. Like, someday. I mean, it doesn't seem to be very expensive in the Wii game, at least, so... Maybe someday. But that's the one Sonic game I want to play someday.
Okay.
Besides the HD version of Unleashed, of course.
Yeah, besides, by the way, I forgot to mention a few games that I played, so I'm going to be really fast. Rivals 1 and Rivals 2, they're fine games. I enjoyed for what they are, but I'm probably not going to play them again. Riders, I really enjoyed that one. I actually enjoyed that one way more, and thank you, Klaus, for teaching me how the game plays.
Yeah,
And, what else am I thinking? Dr. Robotnik's Mean Machine, I, technically beat it because I used a cheat code to go to the final stage so I could have that trophy on my PlayStation 3. But it's okay, it's Puyo Puyo. And then there's Sonic Spinball, which I finished recently, and it's fine, but the problem with these Pokeball story-centric games is that you want your ball to go an exact location, and the pinball just says no.
No.
All right, Klaus, you can answer Spring's question.
I guess I'll start with Sonic the Black Knight as well. I used to have it, but I never beat it because the controls are so bad, and I think I got stuck on one of the first levels. Like within the first 5 levels of the game, I got stuck on some stupid tutorial level. I know that's pathetic, and I was so ashamed. I just gave the game away to a friend. So yeah, I never beat it, but I think one day I'll just watch all the cutscenes for it because I've no desire to go back to that. Sonic game I've always wanted to play is Sonic Jam, of all of them. And that's because in the Sonic Mega Collection, whenever there was a section showing off all the game trailers, Sonic Jam was one of the games included in that. And I just thought it looked like really cute and charming. So yeah, I always wanted to play Sonic Jam. I'm kind of interested in Sonic Advance 3. But then, of course I have to play Sonic Frontiers eventually, like we said earlier. And then Sonic X Shadow Generations when that comes out. But I don't really have any desire to play any Sonic games outside of that because I'm pretty happy with all the ones I've played so far.
All right. I guess in my case, I mean, I could say that I have played Sonic Jam. It's a nice compilation, and I should stream it for you guys soon. But besides that, I guess the Sonic game that I do want to play is Advance 3, and I'll probably play it soon. But besides that, I think a Sonic game that I want to try the Wii version of Sonic Unleashed, like I said before. And I guess Rush, because that game looks fun.
Yeah, the Rush I want to get those too.
Yeah. Besides that, I guess maybe try Tales of Sky Patrol just for the lulz. And Sonic Chaos, because why not? And Sonic Blast, so I can shit on it. And Sonic Ladder, so I can really shit on it. And
Sonic Ladder first because holy shit.
I like Sonic Battle.
Battle? Oh yeah! I'm not sure if I'll ever play that game, to be honest, because I hear that the single player is very repetitive, and I'm like, I want to see that. I want to go for that.
I mean, I think it's fine if you don't just try to binge it in one day. Do like a character story and then wait like a few days, do another one.
How many stories are there?
There's Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Rouge, Shadow. I think Amy.
Cream?
A lot of stories.
Yeah, Cream. And then Emerald, I believe.
And how long do these stories take?
Oh, they take like less than an hour each.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Then it's a maybe. Maybe for me. But
I love the sprites of that game.
Yeah, no, they're really good. I love the art stuff.
Yeah, thanks to those beautiful sprites, we were able to get Super Mario Brothers Z.
Yeah, that's true.
I've actually I know the series definitely, but I think I've barely watched it, or if I even watched it at all.
For me, like the fight scenes are even the old episodes. The fight scenes are really, really, really good. Like there's an episode. I think it's episode 6 or 6. Yeah, 6. Episode 6. It's like Brawl. It's called Brawl in a Vanishing Island. It's literally Mario, Sonic, Shadow, Yoshi, and Luigi teaming up to fight against the Koopa Bros. And also they are fighting the XM Rangers from Mario RPG. And it's like it's a freeway battle, but at no point that it lags or to get so overwhelming that you cannot keep up. Like 3 fractions, all fighting against each other, and it's fluid, and it's so fluid, and it's impressive. Again, this is one guy animating with 2D sprites, and yet the concept as impressive as a freeway battle between 3 teams. He managed to do it perfectly. That should tell you something about the series.
That's awesome, but I hope there's more than just fight scenes.
Then man, you're barking at the wrong house. Then I mean, there is a story, and it's fun to see the Mario and Sonic characters interact. Sonic's the backstory for Sonic is really sad and everything. So there is story, but the mini potatoes is again Mario Brothers Z indicates Dragon Ball Z. So fighting scenes,
Yeah, you just watching guys beat the crap out of each other,
And then Vegeta moans. Also, quick intermission to Amy. Amy Rose makes her playable appearance in this game. What do you guys think about Amy?
It's funny. It's a character that I don't think too much about. But my opinion on her goes a bit back and forth. I do like her fine. She has a lot of great moments. In the IDW comics and in Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, I think she has some really great moments. I think, even though I love this game, Sonic Heroes, I think that some kind of flanderize her character a little bit. That I think, for example, Sonic X would really push it forward. Like, she's obsessed with Sonic and Sonic X from what I've seen. But in this game, for example, she has an idea of a character arc. Where, for example, right here, Sonic is saving her from Metal Sonic, which, hi Metal Sonic, nice to see ya! And and then at the end of the story, spoiler alert, she says, oh, I'm gonna make Sonic respect me, and I'm like, where did that come from exactly? Like, there's no point in the story, like, she thinks about it, but like, there's nothing that compels her to do this. And like Tails' story, we actually see the progression. But I appreciate the idea of the character development. But yeah, my opinion on Amy goes all over the place, if I'm being honest. I like her fine though, and now I do agree that she is the player 4. Like, it's Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. I think that's how it should be from now on. I'm glad they are doing that.
The girls.
No, what is it?
Someone for the girls.
I mean, the girls can play as the characters, and the boys can play as Amy too. You sexist.
Yeah,
I know, but you know how kids can be sometimes.
Yeah, or she's like the easy mode and like the player, like when you're playing Sonic Adventure 2, if you pick Amy, that's kind of like the character that gives you a little bit of like extra help. Like her powers activate with smaller ring amounts, and her chaos control has like a larger countdown.
Huh.
And even though she's like a slower character, she can just use her like battle abilities much more frequently.
Yeah.
So
she was kick-ass in Heroes. Like, I think Heroes was the first time she had homing attack and everything.
Oh yeah. But wait, she didn't have an homing attack in Adventure 2?
Wait, no, she did.
Actually,
yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in the main game, at least, and in Heroes. But yeah, she also. I mean, in Adventure 2 and Heroes have a great Amy, like in terms of gameplay wise.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Klaus? What do you think about Amy the Rose?
Well, it does depend on the game, but like in general, I mean, I like her. I think she's a cute character. I like her friendship with Cream and Big. But I also feel kind of bad for her, like with. I mean, of course, she has a crush on Sonic. Yeah, that's cute, but it's like Sonic's not the kind of guy that's ever gonna settle down because he just wants to be free like the wind, and I feel like he can't really have a girlfriend or be married and be free, at least.
Marriage? No way!
But yeah, so I just feel kind of bad. So I just hope that like one day, and I think she and Sonic have like a healthy friendship nowadays, and I think she respects that. Like, okay, yeah, Sonic's not gonna really look at me in that way, and that's totally fine. I think that's great, but I just hope that like one day she can find somebody who can like love and appreciate her in that way. Yeah, because Sonic's never gonna settle down. So
Shadow and Amy.
I mean, they had that cute moment and murder. They had that cute moment in Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, where he wanted to get her the concert tickets, and then then there's that moment where she tells him to save the world in Sonic Adventure 2. And also, fun cringe fact: when I was a little kid, I used to actually ship Shadow and Amy. Anyway,
it's kind of cute. Like, you have the brooding guy and a chill for a girl. That's a dynamic that I always like.
That's definitely a mid-2000s couple.
Sonic.
Yeah.
My hero. Like, she just breaks the fourth wall. Like,
forever he will be my hero.
Fun fact: I think Klaus definitely knows this fact. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there a route in Shadow the Hedgehog that you do all the evil missions, but then if you switch to hero in Amy's level, which is like a Cryptic Castle. Like, if you do the hero mission in Amy, then go hero, isn't that like called the power of love or something with love? Or am I thinking of something?
I need to check because there are like over 300 route names. So
They had time to do it all.
I wouldn't be surprised though because like a lot of the route titles have to do with like love or something. Yeah.
You think like this, like Shadow was, I'm gonna follow Black Doom. I'm gonna bring order to the humans. And then Amy's like, Shadow, can you help me search for Cream? She's lost in this haunted mansion. And then, Shadow is a hero after all.
He has a soft heart.
A Sonic hero, if you will.
Sonic heroes.
Anti-heroes. Whoa.
What about you, Rhino? What do you think of Amy?
Amy is an interesting character because I never really thought much about her. I normally just think about, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, even Shadow. But Amy is one of those characters that I appreciate what she's become nowadays, because she feels like an actual character nowadays. Because before she's like, "Oh my God, Sonic, please!" and Sonic is like, "No way, I don't like sips." So, yeah, I mean, in this game, yeah, like you said, Spring, she has an idea of a character arc, but like it kind of goes off rails. So it's kind of like, what was the point?
My girlfriend, I think that this was her first route she completed, and she was like, the route focuses more on the bird than on Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, I mean, is a good way to bridge the classic and modern games, because, you know, you saw more of these animals in the classic games than in the modern games. But, yeah, there's a problem. I mean, this should be the bird story, not the Amy story.
You should play as the bird.
Bird, and all you do is just fly around.
It's the 3D remake of Fleeky.
And so you have a cat chasing after you, and you gotta collect as many flickies as possible.
Yeah, look, the cat is Zero, the robot Zero is chasing Amy. This is literally Fleeky in 3D.
Oh yeah, have you guys ever played Flicky?
I played a little bit on the, I forgot the name, but you probably know, the compilation of Sega Mega Drive games for the PSP. I played a little bit.
PS2, PSP, yeah.
Yeah, I also played briefly on Sonic Mega Collection.
Yeah, I played it on the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection, or as you Americans know it, the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. And I had to play it a good amount to get enough points to get a trophy. And but that was years ago. But it's a fine game. It's an arcade game, so there's not much to say. Besides that, it's cute, and the cats can go kiss my ass. Except I actually really like cats more than dogs, so cats give me conflict. Meow.
I'm a dog person. I do like cats though. I like they're both good boys and girls. Yeah, they deserve all the love and respect, both dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Woof. I'm here to protect you.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Genibushi from the hit game, You're Turn to Die.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to be biased. I have a dog and I have cats, so I love them all equally.
Perfectly balanced.
How's Soren doing?
Oh, she's good. She's just like sleeping on her cat tree right now.
It's funny you're mentioning Soren. I remember like you post production. You told us, oh, yeah, she's here in my life. When I went back to the commentary, I think that at one point you can actually hear her purr.
Oh,
I didn't hear that. You gotta give me the timetable next time.
I need to see where it is, but I think you can hear a purr.
But yeah, I forgot to introduce last time that Soren actually joined us in the last commentary, so
she was a secret character.
Yeah.
Oh look, it's big! Foggy!
I love the way Amy just tilts her head like,
Oh. Animatronic jump scare.
I love how the bird is just glued to our model.
I mean, to be fair, the bird could have just simply flown away, but the bird stuck by Amy. That's kind of cute.
Yeah, the bird trusts Amy. Even though you met her like, what, 10 minutes ago?
To be honest, Amy's protecting the bird in her way, but she's still sticking by, so like, yeah, they form a little friendship. Even if it's like 5 minutes, like you said.
Yeah. Oh, it's a prison.
Like here, like she's consoling him. Like I said, Amy has cute moments. Like she has good moments. It's just
she has her mother instincts.
Like she's definitely. I remember, like for example, it's probably going to be a controversial opinion, but I told you before, Rhino. I really was not that impressed with Amy's interaction with Sonic and Frontiers, because like I understand what you were trying to do. You're taking off the fangirl because again, in that game, the game is more serious than other games. So it's like they're trying to do. But the thing is, they took that out. But didn't put anything back. That's the thing. Like, she's definitely the more emotional, the more empathetic of the cast. Yeah. But, like, there was nothing there. You could replace Amy with Blaze. Nothing would have been lost. Nothing would have changed, in my opinion.
I mean, not exactly, because Blaze is definitely much more, socially loner-ish. More of a loner than Amy is. While Amy in the game shows more concern about the Coco, I don't think Blaze would really give a shit about the Coco.
True. But, like, the thing is, there's nothing Amy about it, if you get what I mean. Like, there was nothing.
But then the question comes, when you take the fangirl out, what is Amy?
Yep. You have like Amy from Sonic Boom or Amy from Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which, in my opinion, are the best portrayals of her.
So, how is Amy in the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog? I know I've played the game, but just to get your interpretation on things.
For example, she's still cheerful, she's definitely excitable, which again, I know Frontiers is like a more serious game. So I understand, like, okay, she could not be happy-go-lucky. It would have been weird. But, like, for example, in the serious moments, Amy was still Amy in the sense like, oh, she's packing a punch. When she, spoiler alert, Sonic dies in that game. That's why it's called Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. When she knows that Sonic is hurt, for real, she immediately goes, who did it? Like, she doesn't stop to cry, she immediately grabs the hammer and says, who did this?
I'm not mad, I just want to know.
She just wants to know. Like, she's aggressive, she definitely wants to throw a punch here and there in a hammer swing, but she wants to know who did it. That's the Amy. She's a happy-go-lucky, but it's time to get serious, in the way that's, like, still silly in a way, like, she's immediately want to throw hands, but you can feel the emotion. Like, for example, like Sonic 06.
Reminds of me, actually. Oddly enough.
You wanted to be Sonic, but you realized you're actually Knuckles and Amy.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys know Sonic Song 182?
Oh yeah, I used to watch them all the time. Yeah.
I'm subscribed to the channel, but I don't really watch them now much nowadays. But the profile pic is Knuckles and Amy, so
There you go.
here you go. Yeah, it's an interesting discussion. I think maybe next time they bring Amy along, they could definitely refine her characteristics more.
Or again, like IDW did it. Like I said, like the idea of Amy still having a crush on Sonic, but respects him, quote unquote, to understand, okay, we'll never be together, or at least not right now. So we are still friends, and we are still like fighting Eggman or stopping Eggman or whatever threatens the world. So that's Amy.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how out of all the characters, the one we are actually having a discussion about characterization is Amy.
I guess because the other ones, they got such a comeback recently that there's not much else to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Amy is kind of like the one that we're also mixed on because, like, what is Amy? It's like, that's a philosophical question for the ages. What is Amy Rose?
What is Amy Rose?
Hey, Rosie the Rascal. I mean, yeah, you know, like we said, she's like a very cheerful, happy-go-lucky girl, but she has like a really like bad temper and can and will kick your ass.
So
if you
she's
piss her off,
Piggy.
or
She's
hurt your
Miss
ass. Oh.
Now you can do
When you say it that way, it kind of reminds me of Miss Piggy.
the directional pad in a circle.
I know her voice in Generations and Lost World, she sounded like Minnie Mouse.
Yeah. Oh. No, sorry. Yeah, I remember that. Definitely direction.
Yeah, because like in Sonic Boom and Frontiers, it's the same voice actor, Cindy Robinson, which she's also really big in Fire Emblem. She did a lot of characters in Fire Emblem, and lots of other characters. Like in those games, in those recordings or character portrayals, yeah, she's definitely less Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, it's the direction, and Lost World had a bit of a funky direction, but because of the weird ass script. Oh boy. But I guess, I mean, we'll talk about the other characters later. But it's also, I mean, there's other characters we could talk about because they didn't appear in this game. Fuck it, I'm gonna throw you a bone, Spring. It's Chaotix.
I was gonna mention them because, of course, for me it's funny. You know what? Let's do like this. What if we just talk about our favorite Sonic characters? I mean, we kind of hinted that in the previous. I mean, we said.
We talked about it last time.
Yeah, we flat said, but like, I don't think we ever got into detail why. I mean, now we went into detail about Knuckles. For me, the Chaotix is funny. I mean, because Chaotix, okay, if I have to pick a favorite character from the Chaotix, because they are a trio, for me, it's Vector. Because I think he has the more things going on. Like, he's silly, he's hot-headed, but at the same time, there's a hint of brilliance or detective intuition, which I really appreciate. Like he's silly. SPO sometimes feels like he's the only one with the brain in the team, but you can tell Vector is the leader for a reason.
Because he has a crush on a MILF.
Relatable.
Yeah, he has good taste.
No, because it reminds me of a meme where it's like Vector should be the most relatable Sonic character for everyone. He's a young adult working a low meat job to pay the rent. He has a crush on MILFs. He's the most
We should
relatable
push for
Sonic.
Vector representation more.
I wish, like I said, I mean, I cannot complain too much because again, the IDWs are doing such a great job with the chaotics. Like they are. I'm not sure if this is just me projecting, but I feel like Ian Flynn and team definitely. Again, when it's time to bring an extra character, the chaotics are not too far off when they're trying to pick. So I think they like the chaotics enough because they have a lot of things to go. They are like having interactions between one another. SP is the more serious one, but also the most honorable because of that. Behold, ninja power.
Ninja.
Charmy is definitely the least popular one, or at least was for a time. But I still like him. I like how silly he is. He's just a little overactive, hyperactive kid. What's not to like?
Where's my top secret disc?
What's a top secret disc?
I need to ask you something. Hector told me to look for the 5 top secret discs. Like, what's a top secret disc?
Why am I being stuck to this kid?
Again, my favorite moment, because I think Shadow Hedgehog does is like if you pick a character to follow you in the level, they comment on everything you do. Like if you have a hero character like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and you fight Gun, they're like, "Hey, they're on outside, Shadow. What are you doing?" Charmy goes and says, "Hey, don't drag me into this." Like I love that moment. Yes, I like Charmy. Like, I like all the three. My favorite is Vector if I have to pick one, but you cannot have Vector without SP and Charmy. And that right Sonic team in Sonic 3 Riders, where you just added Vector with Amy and Cream with no reason, or Sonic
I love
Team
that you
Racing.
mentioned that game and not Team. Oh, okay.
I was getting there.
Oops.
And Sonic Team Racing, where you added him with Silver and Blaze,
Team
even
Sonic
though
Racing.
that game is like Heroes, where there's a trio, and Vector has a trio.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you mean? I remember when in Sonic 06 Vector came back in the future with Silver and Blaze. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
What about you,
chaotics,
Klaus?
good characters. What about you, Klaus? You wanna do a fist on Shadow the Hedgehog?
Yes, of course. Oh, Shadow the Hedgehog. Where do I begin? I mean, he looks cool. I mean, come on, it's black and red, the best color scheme of all time, and he has like manly chest hair too. That's great. But like really, what got me about Shadow was his story with Maria, and that really touched me as a kid. And like and Maria like. Spoiler alert, guys, Maria, she dies. But whenever she dies, and then like the sorrow Shadow felt for Maria, and then his desire to get revenge on humanity, that like really touched me as a kid. And that was like the first time in my life I ever felt like actual sadness about a story or character. So that was like a very big moment for me, because when people are like, "Oh my god, this thing makes me so sad," or "This thing makes me cry," I was like, I thought people were exaggerating with their feelings for the longest time. But I just had to find the right thing to be able to understand what the hell they were talking about, and it was Shadow's story with Maria. But something I love about Shadow is that even though like the whole world is turned against him a couple times, it's like he still fights no matter what. He fights for what he believes in, and I think that's very inspirational. And I wish I could be strong like him too. Exactly, goals. Let's see, and I mean, come on, everybody. I don't even know what to say about Shadow. I just love him too much. There's too many things I could say. It's like, where do I even start?
Started with the first game that he.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2. So I wanted to get Sonic Adventure 2 when I saw it advertised in Sonic Mega Collection, because I was like, oh, who's this Shadow guy? He looks so cool. And of course, then I got the game and I played it, and I was like, yeah, he was in fact super cool. And then something I like about Sonic Adventure 2, which I forgot to mention earlier, is how each character has their own like stage music that's associated with them, and it really shows off their personalities. And that's something that I wish that the future games would do when they bring back more playable characters. Anyway, something I like about Shadow is that even though, he's very much affiliated with the heroes now, he pretty much just goes off and he does his own thing, and sometimes he still plays on the dark side if it lines up with his goals. But at the end of the day, when the world is at stake, he is going to fight to keep the world safe. And then you can always count on him, even if He can be a little hard-headed sometimes. No, yeah, that's about it with Shadow. But then my second favorite Sonic character is Tails doll. um, yeah, I know the duality of man, Shadow, and the Tails doll. And the Tails doll was just very much tied to the Tails doll curse and all the creepypastas. And I don't know why, but I was absolutely obsessed with the Tails doll when I was in middle school. And that's all I did was just draw the Tails doll. All I did was like watch the Tails doll tribute videos like set to 3 Days Grace. And I thought the Tails doll curse is real for a time, and I'd freak out every time I saw like a random red light somewhere. And I thought the Tails doll was haunting me and was gonna steal my soul.
I feel something similar with you guys know Twisted Metal?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
series, yeah.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth actually creeped me out and scared me when I was a kid.
He is kind of terrifying.
Oh, he is pretty
Yeah.
creepy. Yeah, I can't blame you.
But now I'm obsessed with Clown Girl, so that's interesting. Your turn.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I need to.
he has to get the clussy.
So what I need to do is show you a Rule 63 version of Sweet Tooth. Okay.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah, I
by
wonder
the way,
how that looks.
actually his name is not Sweet Tooth, his name is Needles. Sweet Tooth is the name of a truck he drives.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
I know
I
that
don't know
because
much
of
about
Death
Twisted Metal.
Battle. Death Battle put him against Joker from Batman, not the Joker from
That's
25.
interesting. Birdie. I like scared birdies. Oh,
Hey, isn't that the Scarecrow from
Conquer, yes.
Yeah.
To go back to the Tails doll, for me, the Tails doll, I also have a soft spot for him because he was the first creepypasta that I ever read. And kind of like you, Klaus, it kind of screwed me up a little bit. So because I learned of him, like with fan works and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, he definitely seems creepy and everything. I remember seeing like a lot of fan art when he was like all bloody and stuff. But it wasn't until one video, it was like, again, like you're saying, a tribute. Like the creepies were, the pictures were now being zoomed in the video, like I was getting spooked. And then they end the video with the two Sonic short appearance where he shows up. You know, the one where he just stares at the camera, then he shows his claws, and then he's like smiles at you.
Yeah.
Then he jumps scared.
Yeah,
Like,
he lunges at the camera. Yeah.
yeah, like I got scared. Then he showed the one where he's talking to you, like play with me. And then his eyes turn black, his pupils are red, and then he jump scares again. Like that was.
No wonder you guys like FNAF.
Like that was the time I was legit spooked. I remember like not even sleeping that night because I was afraid he would come in and get my soul.
Oh, I've had those moments plenty of times in my life, let me tell you.
Now, if you ask me about Sonic.exe, I think that creepypasta is stupid.
Speaking of Sonic.exe, this is one of my favorite moments of the last part. Of when you said that kid in the theater, when you saw Shadow in Sonic Movie 2, he said, oh, is that Sonic.exe? And then the duality of men. Klaus is like, what? No! And I laughed my ass off.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite moments too.
We should clip that. I remember to do it. But I guess my opinions on the Tails doll, I actually don't have much to say about the Tails doll because I never really grew up with him. The most attachment I have to him is some Call Me Johnny talking about
Oh,
him.
I love that version of him. Like, I love his voice. First things first. I think the voice filter and the deepness in the growls he gives Tails is actually really good.
And there's also like he just comes back is like, oh, by the way, you're out of coffee creamer. He's like, no, son of a bitch. It is this coffee creamer just empty and a little bit is like on the table. It's like, fuck.
Oh, yeah, I remember something about the Tails doll real quick. Sorry.
No, go ahead. He's your boy.
The first sewing project I ever made, I made my own Tails doll.
Aw.
Yes, I taught myself a new thing just because I wanted to make my own haunted cursed doll. But anyway, recently I actually found a bootleg Tails doll plush that I got off of Amazon, and he sleeps in my bed with me every night.
I need someone creepy to hold my hand tight at night.
Yeah.
Because if I have a creepy plushie with me, any demon's not gonna approach me because I have a creepy plushie.
Exactly.
That's good logic, actually.
That's the logic behind FNAF 4. Like, so you have the knights, the regular knights. And then you have a mini game. Oh, I like Amy. Tails just like hi, and then Amy just waves
Amy's
after
like,
Tails is up there in the frame.
Bye bye.
Like I'm sorry, I'm paying attention to the story because I should be more independent. Okay, that's it.
I'm gonna defeat Zero on my own.
Like right here, immediately let's switch to oh you have a Chaos Emerald with you, buddy. Okay.
Does she have the same thing that Dory has?
Short-term memory loss. But to talk about FNAF 4, like I was saying, like there's a mini game against a plush trap, which is a plushy version of Spring Trap. If you defeat that, you can start the night early, later actually, so you have less time to worry about the animatronics. So the logic is because you beat plush trap, he's not protecting you for at least 3 hours.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. It also makes the game easier because fuck, when I heard that game is pretty hard.
That's the creepiest FNAF game for me. Like that's the one because it's like Johnny said, it fucks with your fear of the unknown. You really have to pay attention to the sound cues in that game. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like when people said that FNAF 3 was not scary, Scott Coughlin did not mess around. He made the scariest one afterwards, FNAF 4.
Yeah, he was like, and I took that personally.
But he made those games in such a quick time span too. It's like what the fuck.
I mean, to be fair, the games are not. I mean, the lore is complex, but the games themselves, they have interesting mechanics. Like FNAF 2 and FNAF 3 definitely have some things. They have some meat on their bone when it comes to mechanics. But they're simple games at the end of the day. Like, I know people were surprised. I was too. Like, I still remember when FNAF 2 was supposed to come out in 2015. Then it was pushed back to 2014, which, by the way, was the same year the first FNAF game came out.
Yeah.
So it's like... Also, this is the second time we are talking about Sonic and then the conversation derails to FNAF. Last time happened at 2.
Which, I mean, because I'll say right now, in this playthrough, I'm actually doing a little bit of a deviation from what we're supposed to do in the main plot, because I'm getting one of the optional items, one of the optional upgrades for Amy.
Okay.
Which is a better version of the Yammer.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what, we should switch things up. We are talking about FNAF. Let's talk about another indie darling that's sort of related to Sonic, Undertale. And now you ask me, Spring, why the heck do you think Undertale is connected to Sonic? Well, esteemed viewer, if you read one of the comics of Sonic IDW, there's a thing you can see. They put a lot of reference in the background. Apparently, Tails owns a figurine of Mettaton.
Huh.
Yeah.
That oddly fits with him.
Yeah, Mettaton. Out of all the characters, Tails likes Mettaton. And you know what? Like you're saying, it fits.
But it's also interesting. I mean, Mettaton before he becomes the
No. The version you're thinking of. The yes.
Oh, then I'm like, that's interesting, Tails.
The JoJo Mettaton.
The JoJo Mettaton.
Did that awaken something in him?
I don't know, but you know what's funny?
What?
If you... The Archie comics already had references as well to other media. For example, the Ninja Turtles appear sometimes. There's callbacks to DC and Marvel, to Star Wars, to Disney, to Looney Tunes especially. In fact, a lot of the characters look like Looney Tunes characters sometimes in the old Archie comics. What's funny now, if you read the IDWs, you see reference to this. You see reference to Undertale, you see reference to Hatsune Miku, because I think Cubot has a figurine of the Sonic version of Hatsune Miku, for example. There's Toho characters in the background, and what I think is funny is you can tell there's different generations now running for Sonic. Like in the 90s and 2000s, you had a reference to Star Wars, to Looney Tunes, to Disney. Not to say those franchises are not popular anymore, they still are. But now you can see reference to more niche things like Undertale, the Vocaloid
Modern
scene.
things. I definitely wouldn't call Undertale that niche anymore.
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm the Undertale fanboy. I love Undertale 2 to pieces. It's another game that I very much treasure with my heart, with my determination.
Ooh.
So I was glad to see that reference in Sonic. Because, yeah, it's two things I like, Sonic and Undertale. So what's not to like?
You know, Klaus, what are you... Have you ever played Undertale?
Oh yeah, I have my own little Undertale story. Of course I played Undertale. Like everybody in my high school was obsessed with it at that time. Like first one I did was... I did like one of the neutral routes. Like I killed Toriel on my first playthrough. I'm sorry. But then like for the rest of the playthrough, like I think I didn't kill any of the boss characters, but I did like fight some random monsters. So that's how that went. But I think like actually my fondest Undertale memory though was when I had a really bad fever for 2 days. Well, that wasn't good, but like I was stuck in bed and I could not move because if I moved I would just throw up. Okay, so I was stuck in bed and the only thing I had was my iPod to keep me company and all these new Undertale videos that people were like editing, like all these Undertale vines and stuff like that. So yeah, I was obsessed with those for a time, and that was a pretty big part of my life. All those little videos, and then I used to make Undertale fan art back in the day too. I have a couple old pieces of it. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it was good like for a time, but now I try to avoid kind of the Undertale fandom because of just how crazy it is now, and the fact that there's like a million AUs, and I don't even. It's like I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Deltarune technically is an official AU, so there you go. Which is funny because Deltarune was actually in development before Undertale.
That's interesting.
Oh, I didn't know
The
that.
game that Toby Fox wanted to make, and then Undertale was like a side project, but then it became
it's
too
like
big.
Undertale came to him in a dream, I think. That's why he said, "Oh, I need to finish this game because now it's on my dream." So like he then made Undertale, and it's funny because nowadays, especially on Twitter. People are really digging into the code, and Undertale is being held by duct tape and spit. Like, the code in that game is not good.
Oh, wow.
Which, again, makes sense. Like, Toby Fox at the time was not a game developer, he was a musician. Self-taught musician, a really good musician, by the way. So, you can see, yeah, he was definitely learning with Game Maker how to do Undertale, but the fact that he reached the success he did, even still, like, that game inspired so many people, myself and Klaus included. Like, it's kind of like Minecraft and FNAF. It's really those indie stories where it's like a creator starts with so little, and yet they achieve so much.
Yeah, that's another similarity between Undertale and Sonic Adventure. The code is held together by duct tape.
Yep.
That's funny how we were talking about other things, but
We go
they
back to
end up
Sonic.
back to Sonic.
I mean, as we should. This is a Sonic commentary. It's not the
It is
Undertale
Sonic
commentary. I'm not even. I was the one who brought it up.
But we're professional attendants, and honestly, God, I think it is good to strike like a good balance between what's going on in the game and just talking about other random shit. At least I'm taking a page out of Brain Scratch. I mean,
Yeah.
remember in the Mega Man 3 commentary where Ryan was like spent an entire part just grinding out ammunition. Ugh. And Lewis went insane because of that.
What about you, Rhino? What's your story with Undertale?
With Undertale, I mean, it's an interesting thing because I remember, like, I actually saw a glimpse into the game before it got popular. Like, I remember briefly, just like, I stumbled upon one of the songs of the game, like it extended, and it was a long ass start. I was like, I found a mint under my pillow, or
Can you really call this a hotel? I haven't found the mint under my pillow. I think that's the name of the song.
yeah, that's the name of the song that I found, and I was like, wow, this is really good, and the title is really funny. And then I found another song which was Hopes and Dreams, which
I love that
that
song.
was like, holy shit! I was like, holy shit, what is this? But then I just kind of ignored the game a little bit. I just heard songs. I found the artwork cute because it was like the artwork where Toriel and Frisk.
Frisk.
Yeah, it's kind of like it was not drawn by Toby Fox himself. It was one of those guest arts. And then eventually, like sometime after, the game got really popular. I was like, what the fuck happened? And yeah, I did get spoiled on the game. I wouldn't play the game for many years, but I didn't know pretty much everything about it. So I was like, why not? But I was like, but I still wanted to play it. Then eventually I did, and I wanted to do the pacifist route right away. But I kind of fucked myself because I didn't know that you actually had to give water to Undyne, and I was like, fuck!
It's okay because afterwards, because the thing is, in order to do pacifist, you have to do a neutral run.
Yes.
So even if you give water to Undyne, you still have to do the neutral route either way. Because then what happens, you get back to before the final boss, and you can then go back to the hub world and do like some little side missions, which would include Undyne. Oh wait, no. In this case, no. If you didn't give the water to Undyne, you have to restart the game because she's burning inside her house and she doesn't want to see anyone.
Yeah, I literally had to restart the game, and I was like,
But that's kind of cool because if, I don't remember if you noticed, if you do that, the characters will comment that you seem familiar. I think we already did this before.
yeah, I
Okay.
think I know that, but it's one of those things that's kind of like it's cool, but also can kind of fuck up your endings. Like, imagine if you're one of those people that wants to play Undertale like a normal RPG and kill everything, and you end up doing the genocide routes. They will
I
comment on
don't think
that, and you're
I don't
you're
think you would do a genocide route in the beginning because genocide route you really have to grind. I don't think
Yes.
at most people would do like a no mercy route. I think that's what the fans call them. It's like, oh, you kill everyone, but you don't grind. So what you do is like you kill every boss character, and then Sans is pissed at you.
Yeah, but like, doesn't that affect a little bit of your pacifist ending and stuff like
No,
that?
no, 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 no. You restart the game. The characters will comment that you feel familiar, and then you do the pacifist, and that's good. What affects your
Okay.
pacifist ending if you do the genocide route and then go pacifist? Your ending will forever not be the true pacifist ending. That's what ruins it. If you do genocide and then you do pacifist, that's what ruins.
That's fucked. So that's what Johnny was
Yeah,
talking
that's
about.
for example,
in
you do the
Undertale
genocide route, you kill that's where you kill everything, no
Yes.
exceptions. You grind that game the hell and back. Fight Sans. Spoiler alert: Sans is the boss fight in genocide. Route.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, and then you have the ending with the fallen human. That is the name you give to yourself. And that's where yes, your save file will. I don't want to say corrupted, but yeah, you'll never be able to do the unless you of course go into the game settings and change it. Yeah, you're never gonna get the true pacifist setting anymore.
That is fucked. Honestly, that bad game.
That's
Why?
the thing. It's like it's the thing with Undertale that Johnny brought up. Like the game tries to be I don't say artsy, but like it tries to have something more interesting. in that.
Artsy. That's
Yeah,
what we call
like
it.
more abstract. And that's the thing. It can either work or it doesn't for some people. For me, I definitely see why that would be like, oh, it's like my punishment for trying to do a route in the game that technically it's possible to do. So the other way, it makes the game special, at least stick out, because yeah, your actions have consequences.
Yeah, but I think that was already clear enough in
In
the
the game.
main game. Yeah. It feels like it's just like it's spitting at you for just trying to do a different route. Because, like, what if you're just not satisfied with just doing route route? What if you want to experience a lot about the game? You do the genocide route, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing
But
is,
you're punished for trying to experience the game.
and the thing is, the game even Flowey even comments on it because in one of the when you're in New Home in a genocide route, he starts talking to you, and one of the things says, "Oh, at least we are better than the ones who just sit and watch." So they kind of comment on the idea that yeah, there's people probably watching this route because people want to see this route.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, it's a good commentary, it's good meta, but as a game, it's gonna get mixed. It's gonna get mixed feelings. Which again, I totally
Yes.
understand the reason why. Because yeah, afterwards you can never access the true pacifist ending again.
Yes. I suppose Deltarune is not really doing that. Like, doing it like
There
Hero
is a
Sword.
separate route, but so far we don't know what that entails. I don't want to get into specifics because the game is recent and yeah.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's somewhat recent. It has been a couple of years since.
Yeah, this part 2 came out in 2021. I feel old.
Yeah,
Oh man, I haven't even played Deltarune yet. I mean, I played like the very first part or like the demo for it when it was released way back in the day.
Yeah, chapter 1 in 2018. It was funny because that came out in Halloween. Then very next day we would have the final Smash Direct for the for the base game of Smash Ultimate.
What a double whammy.
Which is funny because in this chapter 1 there's a reference to Smash Brothers where Toriel says, "Oh, your brother Asriel liked to play as the Green Lizard thing." So Asriel was a Yoshi main, which is funny because I think Toby Fox, he was a melee player, and his main was Yoshi.
Also, the bird is dead.
The bird is dead. Wait a minute.
Ah, he's alive.
Yeah, Undertale, very special game for me, and that's the best way to end Amy's route in Sonic Adventure. With Undertale.
Oh, Amy. I mean, we're closing up on Amy, but it's not the end of the video.
Oh boy, I wonder
we have
who's
something
gonna
big
come
in
up and-
store.
I see what you
big.
did there.
Why did they call him big?
Because he's a big character.
Oh,
Because
there's so
Big
many
is
other
gonna have a big fishing adventure.
yeah, big. So Big's big fishing adventure free.
Amy's so
I am happy too. I love how her
Me too.
lightning. Yeah, her lighting kind of changes when she moves. What?
Again, good intention, good idea. Where did this come from?
I'll make him give me toilet paper.
It's funny because then afterwards we see her in Sonic Adventure 2, and then we see her in Heroes, and then in Heroes she's forcing Sonic to marry her. Is that her idea of teaching him how to respect her?
Fuck if I know. By the way, her shopping bag said U2 marked. And U2 is the codename for Yuji Naka that
That's
he used
cool.
in the credits of the game. Yeah, nice reference. Here it is! This is the
Sweetie!
highlight of the game!
Sweetie, this one's for you. Look at your boy. I'll never forget when because my girlfriend she knows Sonic. She's not as into it as we are, but she knows Sonic. And we were going over with the characters. I was showing her some characters in the
He
Sonic.
hasn't fallen down the rabbit hole just yet.
Just yet, but she really likes Big. Which honestly, it's a thing that happens to me. It's like if there's a character that I know a friend of mine or someone I'm close to likes, even if I know literally nothing about the character, I immediately, I like this character. It reminds me of this friend. I know this friend likes this character. For example, look at you, Klaus. Tsurumi from the hit anime and manga series Golden Cowboy.
Yeah. Tsurumi, yeah, Spring's favorite character-in-law.
And for Rhino, it was Lupin, o terceiro.
What about Bill and Ted, dude?
Honestly, a little bit now, even though I still have not that much interest in the movies. Of course, if you ever want to show us, I would not say no. It's just, you know what? Now I kind of have more respect to them as well because I know you like them.
Yeah, they're idiot. That's the thing about Bill and Ted. They're fucking idiots, but they're optimistic and they're so happy-go-lucky. And they're like, literally, the message of the movie, what they say is, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. That's a good moral.
That's a good moral. But yeah, like I was saying, after I showed Big to my girlfriend, especially with Big, I was always more neutral towards him. I didn't mind him in Heroes. I just didn't like his voice in Heroes. I think he sounds much better in Adventure. I know which direction they gave him. Like, he sounds more like in Heroes. Here, I think it's more subdued in a way. Or maybe it's because he doesn't talk as much, so I don't know.
Froggy too.
But I started I was neutral towards Big. Like, he was definitely not a character I liked. And back in the day, he was really fun to meme and to brutalize, if I'm being honest. People really didn't like Big. Nowadays, I think because of the memes, he's a lot more well-liked. Like, when he appeared in Frontiers, I didn't see anyone complain. People were happy to see him. So that's cool.
Yeah, and they love this song. Me. I love song. I love lo-fi.
I love that lo-fi. The thing I like about Big and the Frontiers is like every time you go to the menu, he always says, "Would you like to try? I'll let you borrow around." Like every time, no exceptions. He always says this.
I gotta say, it's part of the contract.
The thing what I love about that is that like Frontiers, like I said, it's a more serious game. Sonic is looking for his friends. Everything looks dire. Meanwhile, Big just appears randomly. He's like, "Oh, I'm fishing," and then Sonic's like, "Yeah, of course you are."
Well, might as well help you.
Grinding with Big. But yeah, I mean, with Big, I always felt neutral with him. I never memed on him or hated him or anything. I was just like, he exists. He's fine. Even when I played in Sonic Adventure, I'll say this right now. I didn't know how to play Big when I was a kid. I didn't know that he had to press down on the analog stick whenever if a fish or froggy bites the fucking hook. So I remember the integral part. I just like pushed Froggy little by little, and it took me half an hour to beat that stage.
Yeesh.
Wow.
It wasn't until Hot Shelter years later, because it was the reason why I didn't beat Sonic Adventure for the longest time. It was until years later where I actually looked up the instructions. My English was now way better, and I could understand that. Oh, I had to press down. Oh, but now it is fine. Definitely the best advertisement for Sega Bass Fishing ever.
again, we gotta say this last time. The problem with big fishing is just it's mandatory. If this was like Frontiers, which like it's a side thing,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would complain because
But
it's
the
solid
gameplay's
enough.
solid.
Like it's solid enough,
Yeah.
and a thing I like, maybe it's because I like the sea and I like sea creatures. I always like to see the variety in fish. Like you'd see like different fish species, or you see even robot fish like badniks. I always thought that was kind of cool because you can fish them too, and you can get more extra
Yeah.
points if I remember correctly.
Although the grams on a fish are kind of randomized, so when you're going for the B and A trials, it is actually possible you can't get the fish that you need to actually beat the trial. That has never happened to me, but it is possible, and so you're kind of wasting time. Then you have to restart. Just sad. But besides that, the only problem I have with the gameplay is the collision detection, and that's more of a Sonic Adventure thing rather than a big exclusive thing. But
Just a big thing.
besides that, like the gameplay is solid. You have a button to speed things, the rod, a button that just reels it in but slower. You fish. It's all a matter of just don't let that thing reach its limit, or otherwise you're gonna break. And I guess Big commits suicide because he loses a life.
Yeah, well, why did you lose a life when that happens? I never understood.
I guess they needed a reason for lives to actually mean a thing with Big.
Also, can I just say it's funny how out of all the characters, Big is the one we actually going in depth in his gameplay. Like, did we even say that Amy was a slope-based platformer that he had to run away from the robot? Nope.
Yeah, that's because Amy's story, when you break it down, she only has 3 stages. The second one is the longest one. The other 2 are very short, like 2 minutes, and her story is mainly cutscenes, which is funny. But like, okay, Klaus, what are your opinions on Big Guns?
Well, I mean, I never had an issue with him. I mean, I'm more like neutral about Big. I mean, he's just like a wholesome guy. I mean, all he wants to do is like sleep and fish. I mean, you gotta respect that lifestyle, you know. But like as for like his gameplay and how that works, I think the thing that gets me about like his gameplay is when you're fishing, how sometimes the camera angle can go like a little bit jank, but that's just Sonic Adventure in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also like what you said, the fact that it's mandatory and it kind of kills the pacing of the game for a bit. Because all the other characters, it was like, okay, you know, move from point A to point B and like jump and like punch robots occasionally or whatever, you know. But Biggs is all about, you know, you gotta go to the one spot where Froggy is and then you have to wait until you catch him. And I don't know if it really feels. I guess it does feel a little bit out of place in comparison to the rest of the game. But yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, Big, of course, he's much better in Sonic Heroes because
I
well,
love
he
him in
controls.
Heroes.
Controls like everybody else, you know. Yeah, we.
Belly flop. Woo!
I like how he has the belly flop. Meanwhile, Vector has like his hands like in a hammer position. It's called hammer press in the manual.
Hammer.
Raw, raw, raw.
Sorry, Klaus,
Begging.
you're
But and let's see. I like that Big gets a little bit more like screen time in Sonic Prime.
Oh, yeah, I
I
forgot
just
about
think
that
of all the I think of all the characters they chose to use. It's nice that they were like, okay, yeah, I think Big, he has nice vibes. Let's give him alternate versions too.
Sure, why not?
Oh wow.
He's scratching his. Oh.
Oh,
Big. That's highly inappropriate.
Big's like my balls itch.
You're gonna scratch my balls.
He is that kind of guy. If Eggman scratches his ass in Sonic Adventure 2, Big scratches
His
the
balls.
thingy. Yeah. Also, weirdly enough, Big is the guy that climbs ladders fastest in this game, and Amy is the slowest. I'm like, what?
Shouldn't that be the opposite? Question mark.
It's just because Big is just so excited to catch them fish.
Also, this is the only part of the game that's actually platforming, or at least there's something involved besides fishing, I think.
No, here, like, what I'm doing is completely optional. Like, if I wanted to, I could have just catch Froggy right there. But what I'm doing is because I'm going for all the upgrades, I'm trying to get that one. And this is the only time in the entire game where an upgrade is in a stage. Like, everywhere else, it's always been in the upworlds. But here, it's in a stage. And it actually makes you explore. And that's interesting.
Also,
Like,
you
Big
can
has a
see
lot of
dinosaur bones.
dinosaurs.
Oh, man, this is really a Ice Age 2 moment.
The meltdown.
It's the meltdown.
Oh. But, like, what I find interesting about Big's levels, like, there's so much shit that you don't need to go. Even for the A and B trials, you can if you're like me and are lucky with.
Also, are you struggling here? Because
Yeah, I am struggling here to get like, come on, big, come on, thank you. And like, but what happened? Like, there's a lot of stuff you can like miss just to get more fish if you want to like a higher score. So like, there's a lot of stuff. Hot Shelter, I don't explore in this playthrough, but there's like a thing that you can in the middle of the stage that you can like get it off.
sorry, I'm laughing because like Vic just like frozen in pose while he's going back to the surface of the water.
I'm omnipotent.
I'm a
but like,
my planet needs me.
but like, there's a lot of like Hot Shelter is the thing you can take it off and like makes the water like kind of recede, and like it empties a part of the water, but it makes another part of the stage have more water. So basically, it's like it moves the water from one place to another. And there's a whole big secret area in Hot Shelter that like Max from Super Gaming Brothers finds out in the playthrough, and it's like, I've never seen this shit before. It's like, yeah, they decided to put it just because.
Yeah, like there's definitely some care put into this gameplay style. It just, I don't know, seems like Klaus said, a pace breaker and mandatory. That's the problem.
Sonic Team had priorities.
Priorities.
And I found Froggy.
Again.
But I'm guessing the implication is that as soon as he grabs him, Froggy just immediately leaves, and he's like, "Oh, what am I gonna do?"
Froggy,
like,
what's wrong?
Shit! Here we go again.
Yeah, Big, you gotta get bigger gloves. You're slipping.
You need to get bigger gloves.
Huh? I'm not sure if bigger is exactly bigger, but maybe for Klaus it is. I mean, you're American, right?
Yeah, bigger is better, and in Texas, well, I mean, everything's bigger in Texas.
Big fucking meat. Isn't there like a restaurant in Texas that like has a eating competition where you eat like a beef, some salads, potatoes, and a bunch of stuff, and you gotta beat it in like an hour?
Well, yeah, there's like one where I've seen one out driving where they give you like a 20-pound steak or something, and if you finish the whole thing, you get it for free.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Definitely a lot of eating competitions in the United States.
Yeah. I mean, look at us.
Look at it, like Big is staring at you.
I'm judging your life's decisions.
I love that they just reuse this line.
Also, fun fact, never forget, Big the Cat is voiced by John St. John, also known as Duke Nukem, baby.
I'm here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of gum.
He was also the voice of Omega, and still, in my opinion, still the best voice for Omega.
Ah, beaten by fruit. How weak must they be?
Worthless consumer models. Eradicate. Kill.
That's a lot off my back.
Well, that's a lot off my back.
Look, Omega is such a charming character.
I love him. I love Omega. He's not in this game. He's not in this game.
He was introduced in Heroes, but there is another character that is sort of similar to him in this game, but we won't see him until next part.
Next part, and he's the best character when it comes to story, at least. And gameplay too. I like playing as that character.
Yeah. Although it's funny to think like on topic of story, Big Story is just like finding Froggy, but for some reason he gets like one of the more important to call moments, and I'm like, what?
Again, that's another reason, like, you only get the story context with Big. It's like, imagine in Shadow the Hedgehog, one of the most important cutscenes in the game. You do it if you do, Charmy's Find the Top Secret with Discs mission. It's like, why? Why is this the significance of the plot tied to this one specific mission?
It's the power.
Oh, my body.
I'm clipping through the wood.
My bed is really sturdy. But yeah, I'm going through the forest right now just to get a lot of the other upgrades. And Big has a lot of upgrades because a lot of them are like fishing hook upgrades. Just for you to actually be able to catch those 2,000 gram or 2 kilogram fish in the AA missions. But
again, you have to explore this to find those upgrades.
I'm making the best use out of Big Story. Big out of all characters.
Big guy, hey little guy.
Can you tell me where it's from?
I do like his.
I forgot the lyrics.
I do like his song. A song that I really like, or I guess I should say, music track that I really like. Also, yes, this game is a map.
This
yeah.
the DX version has a map, not the original Dreamcast version. So DX is better.
This is better by default. That actually has a map.
So yeah, DX is better.
What I was gonna say is one of the music that I really like is the Emerald Coast song, the track that plays in big stage when you are in Emerald Coast.
Oh, the chill one,
Like
the one
it
that
sounds
feels
like
like you're on
SpongeBob
an
music.
LCD.
It is so chill. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess one of my favorite themes of this game is the Gamma's theme. It's the only one, it's the only character theme that doesn't actually have vocals. But it induces such a somber feeling. And its story kind of feels like, and the song kind of feels like a story in itself. Like it starts off, like with, like it getting more and more music. So it's like it's Gamma booting up for the first time. And then it ends in that similar way, like fading out and losing more instruments. It's like representative of what happens at the end.
Also, you said Gamma is the only character that doesn't have a theme. Technically, Eggman doesn't either.
No, I said Gamma is the only character theme that doesn't have vocals.
Yep, Eggman's theme also doesn't have vocals.
But does Eggman have a theme in this game?
Yep, the dun 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 dun. That plays every time he shows up.
Oh, that's the egg carrier theme though.
No, he has a song that he plays when every time he shows up, like oh, if it isn't Sonic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, I remember. Because I don't remember much of Eggman's themes until Adventure 2.
Yeah.
Adventure 2, yes.
I am the Eggman, is what I am. One of the best character themes, and I love the remix in Shadow the Hedgehog. That's like, mwah.
Speaking on character themes, Klaus, what are themes what are songs in general do you like in Adventure 1?
No, just in Adventure 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always like the one that plays in the fire cave place.
Red Mountain.
Yeah, Red Mountain. Yeah.
Inside of Red Mountain,
Yeah, all the weird screaming.
The samples are real.
Yeah, I always liked that. I like the song that plays against the Egg Walker and the Egg Viper.
Oh, the dun dun, it's kind of orchestral.
Yeah. That of course, I love Open Your Heart, like who doesn't? But for me, Sonic Adventure soundtrack isn't as memorable as Sonic Adventure 2 for me. But I think part of the reason is because I have the Sonic Adventure 2 soundtrack on CD and I listen to it in the car.
Oh.
So I just listen to Sonic Adventure 2 more. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good songs in Sonic Adventure 2. I just prefer the variety in Adventure 1. Like, a lot of people don't talk about this song, but like, Lost World's song, I love that.
Oh yeah, Lost World's good too.
Also, there's a song that I like that I was saying, is this one.
I love that Big's just sitting, he's like, ooh. It's chill. I love that.
Oh, look, there's a shark.
There's sharks, and sharks can be a bit of a pain in the ass to catch because they always fucking run away.
Yeah, I caught a shark once in real life. It's whenever I was fishing on a boat by the Florida Keys, and I caught a baby bonnethead shark, and that kind of looks like a hammerhead.
Aww.
Yeah, but then I was doing catch and release, so I just let the little guy go, and so hopefully, or maybe he grew up to be a nice, moderately sized shark.
Moderately
I don't
sized
know.
shark.
Moderately sized.
Here's a Gamma. Bye, Gamma. And he's like,
Well,
and he's just kind of like hovering.
yeah, like Gamma's not even holding frog, and the frog just disappeared, and the frog is there again. He's like,
Big, he's trying to fly.
Oh, I just forget of that.
I'm trying to fly.
CGI cutscene, yeah.
That reminds me, you guys are familiar with Shadow 759 videos?
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course.
He did a whole series of characters saying, "Behold, I can fly."
Oh
Me
yeah,
back in
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I remember that. I back in the day, I love those videos. I actually drew one of my OCs flying, like based off of that.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow, I didn't know you had OCs.
Oh, I have a lot of OCs. I have Sonic OCs. I have Kirby OCs. I have just regular, just dudes that are OCs. I have dragons.
Don't forget, you have Sergeant Kero OCs.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, that too. Yeah.
Giro. That's the Japanese onomatopoeia for frog.
For frog,
thing.
yeah.
It's a ribbit. but
Yeah, Froppy
basically.
from My Hero Academia also says that in the Japanese version.
Giro.
It's funny because in the English version of My Hero Academia, they group us with Ribbit, which again makes sense. For Sergeant Kero, instead of just saying anything, he says his name Kero. It's like a Pokemon. The English
I
stuff
choose you, Sergeant Kero.
Kero. The English dub, Klaus can attest this. The English dub of Sergeant Kero is. Mwah, I love that dub. If there's one anime that I have to watch in English, if I had to pick one, it has to be that one. It's so
Not
funny.
Trigon?
Or I mean,
Oh.
I haven't watched Trigon yet or Cowboy Bebop, but I do want to watch those animes dubbed. But in terms of an anime that I've seen that I prefer to watch the English version, that's Sergeant Kero. Dragon Ball Z, maybe to a lesser extent. I go back and forth between the dubs. But
it's
Sergeant
me,
Kero.
Goku.
Hey, it's me, Goku.
But yeah, Sergeant Frog absolutely has to speak English because, well, I don't know how the narrator is in the Japanese version, but the narrator really is just like his own character in the English dub, and he's so funny. And then they change some of the jokes a little bit so that they land a little bit better in English, and I find the humor a little bit more relatable in the English dub.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much that well, I finished watching all the episodes that were dubbed in English, which wasn't very many. It was like 70 or so. And then I tried to watch the Japanese dub for the later seasons of Sergeant Frog, and I just could not get into it at all. Just because the English characters really made the characters
Yeah.
like really made them for me.
For me, it's funny because Sergeant Kero is part of the animes that were airing here in Portugal that were in Spanish. They were all localized by remind me, it's
The
Luke,
Look Internacional.
Luke Internacional. They did Doraemon, Ninja Tori, Kochikame, Sergeant Kero, lots of other animes.
Captain Tsubasa.
Captain Tsubasa, yeah, I think. I don't remember seeing it in Spanish. I
well-
remember seeing it in English, but
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, but
yeah, but
Yeah.
And Sergeant Kero aired here in Portugal in Spanish. And to answer, yeah, the narrator is as fourth wall breaking in because the Spanish version usually is more what more accurate to the Japanese version, or at least as accurate as it can be. So the narrator was also fourth wall breaking, not as much though. Then I saw the anime in English and I fell in love. Like the dub, the casting is just perfect. It's not because Kero in Japanese and Spanish, like he has a more, it's a voice actress doing the voice because it's supposed to sound young. In the English version, is voiced by I forgot his name.
Todd Habercorn.
Todd Habercorn, like he's known as, he does a lot of characters, like he is Natsu from Fairy Tail, he's in Danganronpa as well, and his voice for Kero is just like, he makes him sound like a goofball maniac, and it's just, I love it. Yeah, no, Kero is it's one of my favorite animes. It does get repetitive, so honestly I think just watching 70 episodes is more than enough. Even though the show then has arcs and villains and actually has some character development. But
interesting.
yeah, no, it's a fun anime, and it makes sense because we are seeing Froggy. Froggy's a frog, like Sergeant
Yeah, it
Kero.
all makes sense.
It all ties back, and it's funny because I think Sonic and Sergeant Kero actually had a collab. Like, because I remember seeing a fan art
really?
of Dororo. He's the ninja frog with Sonic.
Huh. I guess, for my opinions on that show, I mean, I remember watching one of the episodes when I was young, because I recorded it at night, and like I put it on record at night, and then the next day I actually watched it, and it was one of those bathhouse episodes, you know, the ones where the guys are trying to peep into the girls. I remember that, but like I remember very, 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 very briefly when I was young, very young. So my memory of this is very hazy. I did catch the English dub, but I was not sure if this was official or not. I was that confused. But I remember I was like, wow, this feels kind of edgy.
Yeah, it does give up abridged energy.
You know,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
literally an official abridge. It's kind of like our Dragon Ball Z Portuguese dub.
Ooh, água fria, dari baira.
Because the thing is, with even the original Japanese version, they do a lot of references, like other animes, to other shows, to Japanese pop culture. So in the English dub, they adapt that. So they reference, for example, "Wow, we have a submarine. This totally beats having a Wii." Like stuff like that, or like there's one like when someone's like, "Oh my God, was that a Fast and Furious reference?" Like legit, the character says this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the cutscene. This is such topics a little bit, but this is the cutscene that the college just kind of like exposes all these are the Chaos Emeralds. Could it be?
These are the 7
And-
Chaos Emeralds, unified by one. That is the controller.
just kinda like-
Oh,
Like Big is just going through motions like, what is this? I don't understand this.
Like, this is literally lore important. We are finally understand, because in the classic games we never really got an explanation for the Chaos Emeralds. I mean, we could see it in gameplay wise, but here now we actually see, yeah. Perfect.
I had to do it, and I was like, what do I put without copying Johnny? Oh, I know.
Another SpongeBob.
I just had to comment on that because I wanted to get you guys' reaction.
No, makes sense, because, like, Jesus, like, again, it's an important cutscene. Also, Froggy just disappeared again.
Poof. Yeah, Froggy just kind of I mean, in this case, Froggy's with him, but it's not shown to us.
No, you see, he has a Chaos Emerald, so he did Chaos Control.
Oh, I get it now. Yeah, yeah.
That's my story, I'm sticking to it.
I get it.
Get it!
But yeah, we are kind of almost wrapping up Big Story in this part. They're talking about a lot of stuff. But I guess we didn't really talk about I mean, we did talk about a little bit of Amy's gameplay, but we talked about Biggs. Did we talk about Knuckles' gameplay?
I complained about the radar in Sonic Adventure 2. That's something, right?
What about the level designs in Adventure 1?
They're fine. Like, definitely more simple, but they are fine enough. And they're like, it's like Klaus said, they are more open. You can just chill, vibe there, and they're not too long either. Like, honestly, it's a good length. I do appreciate Adventure 2s for being more like unique, have more gimmicks going around. It's just really the radar ruins them for me. That's the problem with Adventure 2. And Knuckles and Rouge's treasure hunting stages.
Although I remember hearing like Jay's reviews when he reviewed Sonic Adventure 2, he actually put on a mod that did make the radar more like Adventure 1, and it still didn't really affect much of his playthrough. Why? Because the level designs in that game are just way bigger and way more convoluted, especially stuff like Death Chamber.
Oh, and Mad Space.
Mad Space, that's literally a Mario Galaxy stage.
Like, my problem with Mad Space is not even the anti-gravity segments, although they can be a bit annoying. No, it's just, these things are so scattered, and the emeralds are so small. Like, in this game, emeralds are really easy to spot. They're big enough. In Adventure 2, they're really small, and it's very hard to pick up, so it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like,
very hard to find.
That's the thing. It's like I said, comparing Adventure 1 with Adventure 2, there's things that are better, and there's things that are worse.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's better. The Chow Garden, much more involved. I think that's worse.
Yeah.
Knuckles and Rouge's treasure hunting stages.
I haven't really talked much about the Chow Garden, although I don't know. I mean, will I showcase the next? I don't know.
I mean, you know, me and Klaus and the rest of the audience don't. We don't know.
I'm keeping it a secret, just to give ambiguity.
Which means yes, probably.
Maybe, I don't know. But, fun fact, the Chow were voiced by Tomoko Sasaki, which is, I believe, one of the composers for... it's been a long time composer of Sonic games.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Babe's only boss. I never know how this works, so I just throw my rod and hope for the best. Like, supposedly I'm supposed to aim at that, but I'm like,
Like, there's a radical. I mean, there's a radical, but like.
am I doing it right? Am I?
I mean,
don't-
Johnny in his review, he did it like the first try, but I have no idea how he did it.
Yeah, and can a speedrunner explain to me how this works? And
and then there you go.
Yeah.
Like, what was different in this time than you were doing before? Like, what was the hitboxes? Is it the hitboxes? I'm gonna say it's the hitboxes.
Also, I love that I got my ring count in 1999, which is the release of this game in North America and Europe. So that's nice.
There you go. That's how you catch frog. You need to have that specific number tile on your rings. There you go.
Which is, I mean, that's a nice joke, but it doesn't work in the original Dreamcast release because there was no ring counter in the original Dreamcast.
No, in the original Dreamcast release, you have to do the year the Dreamcast release was released, so you could get frog. There you go. It
So
changes.
I have
That's
to
what
set the time of my Dreamcast in 1999. Got it.
Exactly. See. Oh well, I'll give it a try anyway.
I love that he just hijacks the Eternity 2, and then he's just able to get in enough to get to his home. Also, watch Big closely. It's flipping off because this was not made in widescreen. But yeah, we're wrapping things up since we're almost at the end. So general thoughts on Big, I guess.
Undertale's a really good game, and I really like Sergeant Frog.
Klaus?
Yeah, Big's chill, and I too also like Sergeant Frog.
Sergeant Frog is, I don't know much about the anime, but it does look pretty good and pretty based. Especially my favorite part is when a giant purple cat fished for Frog.
My favorite Sergeant Frog episode is when Big the Cat appeared and fished Kararo and Tama out of a swimming pool. He just walks back like, boom.
Ooh, what was your favorite part of Sergeant Gerardo, Klaus?
Oh man, yeah, my favorite part was when like Big accidentally stepped on the Caro ball, and then like Kararo had to go get a part-time job so he can get enough parts to fix it.
Amazing. The ends. See you guys in the next part. Later, everyone.
Adios.
Bye.